Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I also obviously want to extend my appreciation for President Uribe of Colombia, the former President of Colombia, for his being with us today. And again, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for holding this very important hearing on the challenges of democracy. And I think it's timely, I think it's vital that we have a discussion about the state of democratic institutions here in our hemisphere. We are linked very, very closely with our neighbors to the north and the south, and we all benefit when democratic values are bolstered throughout this hemisphere, because those values are the values that help ensure peace. They're the values that promote free trade. They're the values that guarantee shared prosperity, that really offer people upward mobility when they're deployed, that really offer people opportunity in those types of democratic environments. And while they're great examples of healthy democratic developments in Latin America, as, of course, in the case of Colombia, President Uribe, we do have a situation where we've seen the unraveling of democratic values in several countries over the last decade. And taking cues from Cuba's dictator Fidel Castro, the late Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez laid the groundwork for the emergence of a populist extreme left in Latin America. And as a result, time-honored democratic principles like free and transparent elections and freedom of the press and freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, all of that has been under assault in Venezuela, in Ecuador, in Bolivia, in Nicaragua. I have been particularly concerned with the implementation of a communications law in Ecuador that serves to stifle the rights of freedom of press and expression. Passed this past June by Ecuador's National Assembly, the law creates regulatory bodies tasked with redistributing licenses equally among the private, government, and nonprofit sectors, thus dismantling much of the private media ownership in the country. These regulatory bodies will be charged with monitoring content and imposing sanctions or imposing criminal penalties if they assess subjectively that published information is not precise, contextualized, or if an outlet neglects to cover issues deemed to be in the public interest. The passage of this law is chilling to those of us who know the importance of press freedom and independence from government for the proper functioning of a free society. The language of this law is open to the whims of President Correa, who has shown himself to be anti-press, anti-free expression. In fact, according to Freedom House's annual press freedom survey, Ecuador had the world's second largest decline in press freedom over the last 5 years. The passage of a law that offers that president the sweeping and subjective control of the media will also encourage Bolivian President Evo Morales, I suspect, or President Cristina Kirchner of Argentina, to advance their own attempts at controlling dissent in the media. Through populist rhetoric, demonizing private ownership, these governments are seeking to put the executive firmly in control of media content. These types of laws do more than challenge democracy. They dismantle democratic institutions right here in the Western Hemisphere. And I am looking forward to hearing from each of the witnesses and discussing what can be done to discourage these types of abuses made cynically in the name of democracy. But again, Mr. Chairman, I thank you for holding this hearing today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.